The rewarding part is knowing, and I've had, I think, 17 or 18 patients now. I'm not sure the exact count. The most rewarding thing is that you know that you're actually helping someone through a difficult portion of their life. And in some cases, it doesn't work out well for various reasons because everybody's different. And in some cases, you really get involved with the patient. And so the patient I have now is very rewarding because I am making a difference in his life, and I know it, and he lets me know it. And so it's just a nice, rewarding feeling. Actually, I don't find that much challenging. I find just getting to know your patient, that's always a challenge because when you have that very first meeting, you don't really know what you're going to have. And so I find that a little challenging. But other than that, I personally thoroughly enjoy what I do. The only real difference is that when I've had a number of veterans as my patient, and the one thing that I believe makes it different is that my patient and I, we have a bond, and it's a bond that only a couple of veterans can understand. And we have mutual things that we've done, not together, but in our service time. And so they could tell me stories about this and that and what went on, about the basic things of, and I can relate to a lot of it. And I can pass back some of the stuff that I did. And we have this relationship. The patient I have now is an Air Force career retired person who is a delight to be around. He's a real delight. We have a very common interest. And so it helps, by having a veteran with a veteran sometimes. We just have something mutual there that we can relate to each other about. I would have quite a few of them, but if I had to pick, there's always one that I like to pick because I think it kind of shows what it's all about, is my patient number one. I've told the story before, and I tell it whenever we have our volunteer training groups when I'm, participating in, is that I took my training, got my badge, and got my assignment, and pointed me north to Woodland, and I went up to visit my first patient, and he was in the secure unit. I believe it was dementia, could have been Alzheimer's, I don't know. But I found him sitting in the hallway in a straight back chair, staring at the wall. And so I sat down next to him, not knowing what to do, because this is kind of new. And the only thing he would say to me is, "They think I'm stupid." So I said, "Well, first of all, who are they?" And all he would say was, "They think I'm stupid." So that was the conversation that we had for a number of visits. I noticed one day in his room, on his nightstand, there were some looked like vignettes or drawings and writing and so forth. So I asked his wife about it and asked her about these papers that I saw, because I said, they look interesting. They look like just drawings and writing, and I wanted permission to know what they are, because maybe it's something I can do to help your husband. And so what they were little vignettes about some of his life experiences, and they were marvelous. They're funny, a lot of them. One of them caught my eye. He was writing about his time as a commander at Subic Bay in the Philippines during World War II. It was a funny, funny story. But I got to reading this, and I looked at him, and he was sitting there staring at me. Once in a while, I get a facial expression. I says, "I can't prove this, but I believe it's very possible that you were my father's commanding officer in World War II, because I know the Seabees were a very small unit in Subic Bay, and you were there precisely the time he was, and you were a commander of the whole thing. And I got a look and kind of a facial grimace and a smile. And so it was all one-way conversation about veterans things and so forth. And I didn't get, very little response from him. Once in a while, he's almost stopped saying they think I'm stupid. I got him over there. The last time I saw him, as I timed all my visits with him around lunchtime. That way I could segue him right into lunch, and that would break off. And I do it to this day. I wheeled him in, got him all set up for lunch. And we need to remember that up until this time, he's probably said no more than 2 words in a sentence to me. It's something I couldn't understand. He looked up at me and he said, "Thank you for visiting with me. I think of you every day." And right there, I knew that, yeah, this is what I want to do. Because in his case, I evidently helped him, even though he could not respond until our last visit. And why he came out with this complete thought, who knows? I've had it happen since then with patients, not in the same words, but and patients, spouses, or children. They let you know that they appreciate what we're doing, and this makes it worthwhile.